What is good, Solari Capital? Just freshly back from a walk in the sun, great meal. Nice little Red Bull here. Just to give us some wings. And gonna do a little crypto market update here on, we got August 20th, 2025. It is a Wednesday. We had some stuff go on this morning, kind of missed a PO3 on CRV, but like I've heard Lars say many times, sometimes the best PO3 entries are caught along the way, so we're going to check out CRV. I want to start off with here, USDT dominance. On the 5-day chart here, we are having our EHP model playing out. So extra high probability model right here, where it's not even that much of a nice model, which sometimes tends to happen on these EHPs. It seems like where you're getting just that immediate liquidity sweep. These dots are kind of all over the place depending on the time frame here for this chart, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, not gonna lie. But comes in, immediately takes it, and creates just some super nice demand here that we tap into. And this is where things are kind of getting interesting, because I'm trying to think about the market now. And man, we are having such strong zones in here, and this whole area is just such strong demand that like, how are we not getting a little TCT within TCT coming to any one of these levels? We'll check them out in a second. Like, how are we not getting something like this, you know? Fucking blasting up like this. I don't know. I think that would make the most sense for this chart. You know, probably have a lot of people waiting for this level, like a lot of people. And now we can kind of look at this internal range. Obviously, we can just keep going up here. But we got that lower time frame break. But I'm watching this range here. If we can start coming down, let's take a look at these levels here. There's some very good levels in this. So right away you're seeing this OBIF on the higher time frame, but as always we want to check out the lower time frame, see what's valid, see what's mitigated already, what's not. And if we're coming here, I'm going to expand out all of my zones because I've already pulled them. But these are going to be my 3 levels, and this one obviously you could just expand it to this OBIF. Sometimes the time frames are a little weird. So this one's overlapping. This is a really good OBIF because it's overlapping structure demand on the lower time frame. Not even going to place these dots again because this chart is a bit weird with them. But if we're coming into our levels here, you can already see this is a OBIF. This actually counts as valid structure. So also structure demand, TCT mentorship 2025. If your second candle sweeps the liquidity of your first candle but still closes lower, it is still structure. So that's our first level we're watching. And this is just layers on layers, boys. Like, this is our next level right here. If you weren't convinced by this level, look at this fucking level. Right there. And then obviously you're having this guy at the bottom as well, which is also valid. Obviously I extended it up, but right here, look at that inefficiency. Right here. Just make sure. It's pretty close. I think even if we come to the even lower time frame here, it's still good. Let's see. I don't think this is the level. I think these are the 2 levels. I'm just kind of putting this on here for fun. Yeah, I don't know. Not too convinced by this level. We'll just keep the OBIF on there. Maybe we get a tap and go if we need it. But these 2 are the levels that I'm watching. So if we kind of come back out here, watching for a TCT within TCT right here. That would be super clean, and that would be that would be, this is cycle topping shit. So with this in mind on USDT DOM, Bitcoin, what would that mean for Bitcoin? A couple things. Maybe we come up here. There's just so much supply in this area. You guys want to see something funny? Super nice high, by the way. If you guys want to see something funny, look at this fucking trade. This is a potential cycle topping trade. But there was a very advanced PO3 entry here where you had, let's see if we can go even lower. So obviously this is all-time high. What price is going to do at all-time high? You have this structure demand right here. No inefficiency, right? You're also having this OBIF. Boom, right there. No inefficiency for this, but I forget exactly, but this is a supply or a demand to supply flip where this demand gets broken back right here, and I believe this is the entry right here. Stop above this high, maybe even this high. I think this high, because there's no reason to go higher from a supply perspective. Right here, demand can't take over. Demand to supply flip right here, break a structure, back to bearish. Now guys, this shit is too advanced for me right now. But there's the PO3 entry. Let's see if I got it right, because I know the RR of this play. Let's see if I got it right. No, I think I did. Boom. Right like that. I think it's above this high though. Yeah, 14 RR. Right like this. Truly a masterful play. I will shout out Wyckoff Insider for this one. This is his trade right here. Truly advanced. Respect the hell out of that. That was a fucking great trade. Because PO3s can be 2 taps. So this has the potential to be the top on Bitcoin, and we have a shit ton of supply here as well. I'm just expecting this low to get taken, and then we'll kind of see from there. But any hard expansion back into this range, you know, maybe we come all the way back up. You know, I'm not sure. If we're just, this is coming down to here, maybe we come all the way back up. Maybe we front run this, we come all the way back up, then dump it lower. But for Bitcoin, it's unclear. I think this range low obviously is a magnet. It's just, when is it going to happen? So if we're looking at USDT DOM, and we're looking at an EHP model that we have on there, maybe, and this is a huge maybe, I think this would be the level right there. You wouldn't even get up here. Let's make this clean. This is a huge maybe. If we get this, I would place a much higher important probability on us just taking this level, and then we'll kind of see what happens from there. But we do have some good demand here, so it's tricky to know if we will get a bigger range or what's really going to go on. I personally do not know. But this is the Bitcoin chart that we're looking at. For USDT DOM, I would love us to come down, you know, stay within this range, come down. That's obviously my preferred scenario. So what does that mean for CRV? Well, you can already see here that, first off, for everyone, if they've seen my last video or a part of the trade, we had this Model 2 right here. This Model 2, we traded it right here on the New York manipulation. Came up super, pretty high probability distribution right here. I unfortunately was away from the charts when this high was put in right here. Like, Bojan high, got to be super careful with that. I was away from the charts. I thought for sure we were hitting technical there. I saw probably this candle right here, full body, and then we actually end up getting the reverse of what I was expecting. Bojan high, straight back down, didn't de-risk. No worries, lessons in the field. Extra manipulation. This zone, this is kind of the zone to be, you know, accumulating. If you're going to come down, like, obviously you can't see it here on the higher time frame, but just to get a look at it here. This is also, like we talked about, an extreme premium and now deviating even lower of this range. So if we were going to get a bounce, this is absolutely the place to do it. Kind of come all the way down. I think there was potentially a level down here. You know, since we're in the video, let's be checking. Let's be thorough here. You know, was there a reason for price to come down? This is the things we need to know. Because I know, yeah, okay. Look at this. So there is even a reason for price to come down here. Bet. Like, look at that. Look at that. So, with that in mind, let's see what we got. No, I'm not too worried about this. I think this PO3 schematic is going to complete itself. Any supply here, I think, is just to come down into this demand, and you can already see my plan here. So for CRV, boom, right in the manipulation phase, we had that pivot point OBIF in our greater demand level. This was a breaker block where we were playing the M2. But now we're in the manipulation phase. PO3 is absolutely confirmed. Like, these are impulsive candles. Bulls are in control here, so any pullback I think should be viewed from the point of view of completing this schematic and actually getting follow through all the way to this pocket of liquidity that we've been watching before coming into some more resistance above. So if we can get a schematic in here, get a refined entry, this, you know, these type of plays are the passing passing the challenge in one go plays, you know. Something where you have great, your market context is super good, and you're pre-planned very heavily to be able to get these runners. I'd be targeting this liquidity right here. You know, we came into pretty much every spot. I believe there's a super small zone right there, but you know, nothing too major. So we got our plan here on CRV. You know, pretty beautiful PA, honestly. I was kind of unsure what was going to happen, and then, you know, a lot of clarity here. We were front running our zone this morning. I know everyone wanted to get in this play this morning. I know I was one of them. But the PO3 is actually where the real players are playing at on this chart right now. Next up, don't really want to go over ETH, BNB. Look at that, Gian. Gian, my boy. He's gonna like this one. Look at this. We got this accumulation right here, sweeping EL. Now, this is where it gets tricky because we are coming up a little too fast here, and this is some live market analysis right now. We got this range here. Obviously, everyone knows the bigger range on BNB right here. You know, very high probability zone for a short. Extremely high probability. If Bitcoin's gonna be topping out too here, this would be the zone to kind of put it in. You can almost look at it as like a PO3. Just This pop-up just probably isn't enough. I wouldn't look at this as a PO3, but extremely high probability zone for a short. So this accumulation can potentially be looked at as, you know, just the manipulation or the fuel to get us up here. So any demand created, we got like probably some structured demand or whatever in here. Doesn't have to be looked at from that point of view. However, I'm gonna need to see something up here. You know, maybe we should have to start pulling some negative fibs or something. Just some sort of topping structure in here. Like if we're coming up, you know, maybe we come down a bit, then take that high, and we're getting, you know, something like this, like something like this, maybe even once more higher. Is that the one? No. Any TCT up here, kind of thinking like Litecoin vibes. If you guys remember that Litecoin trade, where it had that accumulation pop up, and then it had its own distribution schematic. So something like that up here is what we're gonna need to see, and then you're obviously having your TCT model 1 like that. That's kind of what I'm watching on BNB. I know Gian was like, we were talking about this accumulation being not as high probability because there's not really a zone here. It's just kind of, you know, it's just kind of the vehicle to get us up there. Checking some of our other coins here. How's our SUI doing? SUI's looking good, going according to plan. Not too heavy in this, but we would expect to take this out here, so could run that all the way down there. But we'll have to see. You know, maybe we get an accumulation in this region. But we'll kind of have to see this almost like a hedge a little bit for myself. It's not a hedge though, because I'm not in any longs at the moment anymore. So we got that on SUI. Then we got a super clean range here on MNT. This morning I was looking at, it actually happened last night, but this morning I was back testing this range right here. This was the range that Tom sent me. Tom was watching this. It was super technical, you know, it had that blast up and then a super low time frame TCT within TCT to then dump it lower. Extremely scary retest right here that would have scared you, and then completed the move. The RR was pretty heavy as well. For the low time frame scalpers, that was a technical fest in there. But looking for a deviation of this high here now, and this is that's not clean. And this is a market maker supply. Whoa. Make this clean. No, just right there would be good. Something like this would be extremely nice on MNT. Just like that. You can see the volume profile. Super clean. Just like that. It's the definition of a volume inefficiency for sure. So yeah, these are kind of the plays I'm watching right now. And yeah, we'll kind of have to see what we get. You know, I'm really curious with this market right now. What we're going to be getting. This chart is just too clean for me right now. You know, we always have the possibilities to get the Model 1, but especially since I don't think many people are expecting this EHP right here, or God forbid even know what that is. Just like how strong this demand is super strong. Like, what are we gonna get? Just bust through there? Maybe. You know, I don't know, but those levels seem seem really nice. You have the combination of higher time frame order blocks with lower time frame structure demand. Like, you really can't ask for much more. Like, I think it's even a blessing if we come back down here after confirming this model. But also, since we have this supply, I think it makes the most sense to get a proper accumulation within our third tap of our EHP. And if we do get that, you know, I think range high is an absolute magnet, and that would be Bitcoin probably range low here. So that's all for me, boys. Gonna have to head to the gym. But yeah, stay sharp.